All right, everybody, welcome to the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. This is not just another course. This is a transformation experience. Over the next 21 days, you're gonna level up in literally every single area of your life. Physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and here's how it works. There are 21 chapters, one per day. Each one's focused on a specific area of mastery in your life. Fitness, mindset, focus, leadership, faith, wealth, relationships, and more. And inside of every course, inside of every chapter, you're gonna have 8 powerful questions that are designed to pull the best out of you. That's 168 questions total and 168 chances to face yourself, get clear, and create the habits that will define your future. This challenge is not about information, it's about transformation. You're gonna be able to build discipline, design your routines, and discover who you really are when you go all in. Every lesson is short, practical, and action-based, built for people who don't just want success, but are ready to earn it. Here's what's waiting for you on the other side. More energy than you've ever felt in your entire life. A mindset that's unshakable, habits that make success automatic, financial freedom, deeper faith, and the kind of confidence that cannot be faked. Literally impossible. By the time you finish, you won't just look different, you'll be different. You'll move different, you'll think different, you'll lead different. So here's your mission, all right? This is your mission. Commit. Don't skip a day, don't skim the questions, answer them honestly, apply the work, because the moment that you do that, you're gonna realize that you were never really waiting on the right time, you were waiting on the right you. So welcome to Gains Life Mastery, let's get to work. Welcome to Chapter 1 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge, Foundations of Physical Fitness. This is where everything starts. Fitness is the base layer of your entire life. When your body is strong, your mind is sharp, your energy is high, and your confidence shows up everywhere, in business, in relationships, and in your daily life. Think of fitness like the foundation of a skyscraper. If the base isn't solid, the entire structure is unstable. Your career, your goals, your relationships, they all rest on your physical health. So let's start with the 3 pillars. We've got movement, fuel, and recovery. First is movement. Your body was designed to move, but most people are sedentary. They sit all day, they scroll all night, and then they wonder why they feel sluggish. Movement doesn't have to be complicated. Aim for resistance training 3 to 5 times a week to build strength and add in daily movement. Walking, stretching, even taking the stairs. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Second is fuel. Food is not just calories, it's information. It tells your body how to perform. Processed food leads to brain fog, low energy, and weight gain. Whole foods such as lean proteins, vegetables, fruit, healthy fats give your body the building blocks to perform at its peak. Hydration is just as important. People walk around dehydrated and they mistake it for being hungry or being tired. If you drink water throughout the day, you're gonna watch how your energy changes. Third is recovery. This is the most overlooked pillar. Recovery is where growth actually happens. When you lift weights, you're not building muscle, you're actually tearing the muscles down. The rebuilding, the growth, that happens during rest and sleep. That's why 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is non-negotiable. Add in stretching, mobility work, and even breathing exercises to recharge your nervous system. Now let's zoom out. Why does this matter? Because when you master the basics with movement, fuel, and recovery, you create momentum. You start looking better, feeling better, performing better, and that energy is gonna carry into every single area of your life. So here's your action steps. Commit to one habit in each pillar this week. One movement habit, like a daily 30-minute walk, one fuel habit, like swapping soda for water, and one recovery habit, like putting your phone down an hour before you go to bed. Simple wins stack up over time, and that's how you build an unshakable foundation. Remember this, fitness is not about perfection, it's about progression. Every workout, every meal, every night of good sleep, it's a brick in the foundation of the life that you're building. This is the start of your journey through Gains Life Mastery. Take this serious, build your foundation strong, because everything else that you want to achieve is gonna stand on this. Let's get to work. Welcome back to Chapter 2 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. In this section, we're diving into one of the most important levers for your performance, which is nutrition and meal planning for peak energy. Guys, food is fuel. The way that you eat is either charging your body like a high performance machine, or it's slowing you down and it's draining you. When most people think of nutrition, they focus only on weight loss or muscle gain. But here, we're talking about something much, much deeper, which is sustainable energy. Because when your energy is steady, you show up as your best self in business, in relationships, and in every single challenge that life is gonna throw your way. So let's break this into 3 key principles. We've got balance, timing, and preparation. Your body thrives on balance between protein, carbs, and fats. Think of protein as the building block for your muscles and recovery. Carbs are your fuel. They give you the energy to train, to think, and to move. Fats support your hormones and keep your brain sharp. When you eat too much of one and you neglect the others, your energy is gonna crash. The sweet spot is a plate built with lean proteins, colorful vegetables, and a healthy carb source such as rice or potatoes, and a good fat like avocado or olive oil. Second is timing. When you eat is just as important as what you eat. You wanna start your day with protein to stabilize your blood sugar. Use complex carbs around your workouts for fuel and recovery. Keep your dinners lighter so your body can focus on rest and repair while you sleep. And don't forget hydration. Water is the silent performance booster that most people ignore. Third is preparation. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Most bad eating decisions happen because of convenience. You're busy, you're hungry, and the easy option is usually the worst one. Meal prepping changes that. Take a few hours once or twice a week to cook your proteins, chop your vegetables, and portion your meals. That way, the right choice is the easy choice. Now let's make this practical. You don't need to count every single calorie. Start by building plates that are simple, balanced, and consistent. For example, grilled chicken, roasted sweet potatoes, and steamed broccoli, or salmon, rice, and asparagus. These aren't just meals, they're performance fuel. So guys, here's your action step for today. This week, pick one meal each day and upgrade it. Swap fast food for a home-cooked plate. Replace the soda with water, add in an extra serving of vegetables. Once you nail that, expand it until every single meal works for you instead of against you. And remember, nutrition isn't about restriction, it's about optimization. It's not about eating less, it's about eating better. The goal is to fuel your body so that you can perform at your peak. Day after day, when you master nutrition, you don't just change your body, you change your life. This is the foundation of sustained energy, sharp focus, and unstoppable momentum. Build this habit and you'll see every area of your life level up. Let's keep going. Welcome to chapter 3 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about recovery, sleep, and longevity hacks. Now I want you to think about this. When you work out, you're not actually getting stronger. You're breaking your body down. The growth, the gains, the progress, that all happens during recovery. Most people hustle hard in the gym, they push themselves, but they sabotage their results by skipping the most important step, which is rest. Recovery is where you're gonna be able to build strength, protect your energy, and extend your lifespan. Let's break this into 3 keys. We've got sleep, active recovery, and longevity habits. First is sleep. Guys, sleep is not optional, it's essential. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night is non-negotiable. Sleep is where your brain consolidates memories, your muscles rebuild, and your hormones are gonna be able to balance. If you're cutting corners on sleep, you're limiting energy, you're limiting your focus, and even your ability to lose fat and build muscle. Make your room dark, cool, and quiet. Put your phone away an hour before bed. Create a bedtime routine just like you would a morning routine. Second is active recovery. Recovery isn't just about lying on the couch. It's about intentional practices that restore your body. That means stretching, foam rolling, yoga, mobility drills, or even light cardio like walking or swimming. Active recovery improves blood flow, reduces soreness, and keeps your joints healthy. Think of it as maintenance for the machine that is your body. Third is longevity hacks. If you want to be able to perform at your peak for decades, you have to think long term. That means dialing in nutrition, keeping stress low, and investing in habits that protect your health. Breathing exercises to calm your nervous system are a huge thing, right? Cold plunges, contrast showers to boost recovery, supplements like magnesium, vitamin D, or omega-3s if your nutrition is lacking. Even simple practices like standing more during the day or taking walks are gonna be able to add years to your life. So here's your action step for today. This week, track your sleep for 7 days. Pay attention to how many hours that you get each night and how rested you feel in the morning. Add one recovery habit then. Maybe it's stretching before bed, maybe it's a 10-minute walk after meals, maybe it's a cold shower. Layer in these practices one at a time until recovery becomes as automatic as training. And remember this, it's not about how hard you can go in one workout, it's about how consistent you can be over years. Recovery is what allows you to keep showing up day after day, decade after decade. This is how you don't just build a strong body, you build a long, healthy, and unstoppable life. Take recovery seriously and watch how much further you can go. All right, welcome to chapter 4 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about mindset and limiting beliefs. This may be the most important course in the entire series because no matter how strong your body is, no matter how much money you make or how many opportunities come your way, if your mindset isn't right, none of it sticks. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world, and if that lens is covered with limiting beliefs, you're gonna keep hitting the same walls over and over again. So let's get clear on what limiting beliefs really are. A limiting belief is simply a story that you've told yourself about what you can or cannot do. Maybe you grew up hearing money doesn't grow on trees, or you're not smart enough, or people like us don't succeed at that level. Over time, those stories start to become invisible rules that shape your choices and your identity. But here's the truth. Those stories are not facts. They're just beliefs, and beliefs can be rewritten. Let's break this down into 3 steps now. We've got awareness, replacement, and reinforcement. First is awareness. You can't change what you can't see. So start by noticing the patterns in your thoughts. When an opportunity comes up, what is the first thing that you tell yourself? Do you say, oh, I can't afford it, or oh, I'm not ready, or oh, what if I fail? Guys, write these down. Awareness is the first step towards freedom. Second is replacement. Once you've identified the limiting beliefs, it's time to replace it with something empowering. Instead of, I can't afford it, shift that to, how can I afford it? Instead of, I'm not ready, try, I'm preparing every single day. Instead of, what if I fail? Say, what if I succeed? This isn't fake positivity, it's retraining your brain to look for solutions instead of roadblocks. Third is reinforcement. Beliefs don't change overnight. You have to reinforce the new stories through repetition and through action. That means speaking it daily, writing it down, and backing it up with small wins. Every time you take action in alignment with the new belief, you prove to yourself that it's true. And slowly but surely, the old belief loses its power. Here's your action step for today. This week, identify 3 limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Write them down, then create a new empowering belief to replace each one. Say them out loud every single morning and every single night. And every day, take one action that aligns with the new belief. And remember this, your beliefs shape your reality. If you believe that you're limited, you'll live limited. If you believe you're capable, worthy, and powerful, you're gonna be able to create a life that reflects that truth. Mindset isn't something that you fix once, it's something that you practice daily, and the stronger that your mindset becomes, the fewer limits that you'll ever face. This is where real transformation begins. Welcome to chapter 5 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about focus, discipline, and flow state. If a mindset is the engine, then focus and discipline are the steering wheel. Without them, you waste energy, you drift off course, and you're never gonna be able to reach your full potential. The truth is, guys, we live in one of the most distracted eras in human history. Notifications, social media, endless noise pulling at our attention. And if you can't control your focus, somebody else is gonna control it for you. So let's break this down into 3 pieces: focus, discipline, and flow. First is focus. Focus is about attention. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You can't control everything in your life, but you can control what you pay attention to. So in order to sharpen your focus, you need to start cutting your distractions. Turn off your notifications on your phone. Create a workspace that's clean and intentional, and then work in time blocks, 25, 50, or 90 minutes, and give your full energy to one task. Multitasking is a myth. Single tasking wins every single time. Second is discipline. Discipline is doing what you said you would do long after the feeling has left. Motivation will not always be there, but discipline is what keeps you consistent. Think of discipline like a muscle. The more that you use it, the stronger it's gonna get. So start with small promises to yourself. Wake up when the alarm goes off. Do the workout that you said you'd do. Finish the project that you started. Every kept promise builds self-respect, and that self-respect builds unshakable discipline. Third is flow. Flow is that state where the time disappears and you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. Athletes call it the zone. Artists call it inspiration. In reality, it's a trainable state. Flow happens when challenge meets skill, when what you're doing stretches you but doesn't overwhelm you. To create flow, remove distractions, set clear goals, and give yourself uninterrupted time. The more you practice it, the more you can access it on command. Here's the action step. This week, design one 90-minute block of deep work every day. Phone off, distractions gone, pick the most important task of your day and give it your full attention. Notice how much more progress that you make when you focus deeply instead of half working all day. And remember this, focus is the amplifier, discipline is the consistency, and flow is the peak state where your best work happens. Master these three, and you'll achieve more in months than most do in years. This is how you move from being busy to being unstoppable. Welcome to Chapter 6 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about emotional intelligence and stress mastery. Success isn't just about how smart you are or how hard you work. It's about how well you understand and manage your emotions, both your own and the emotions of others. That's emotional intelligence, right? And it's one of the greatest predictors of long-term success in life, relationships, and leadership. Emotional intelligence has 4 key parts. We've got self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. So let's break these down. First is self-awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. Self-awareness means recognizing your emotions in the moment. Do you know when you're stressed? Do you know when you're anxious? Or do you know when you're triggered? Can you catch the patterns before it takes over? The more aware you are, the more power that you have to shift. Second is self-management. This is about control, not stuffing emotions down, but channeling them productively. Stress, anger, or frustration don't have to run your life. Tools like breathing, meditation, journaling, or even taking a walk help you to calm your nervous system and reset. Mastering stress isn't about avoiding it, it's about responding instead of reacting. Third is social awareness. This is the ability to be able to read the room, to sense what others are feeling, even if they aren't saying it. It's empathy. It's listening to not just the words, but to the tone, to the body language, and to people's energy. When you practice empathy, you build trust, and trust is the currency of leadership. Fourth is relationship management. This is where it all comes together. Can you communicate clearly? Can you resolve conflicts? And can you inspire others even under pressure? Great leaders don't avoid difficult conversations. They just don't. They step into them with empathy and clarity. That's emotional intelligence in action. Now let's tie this all back to stress mastery. Stress is unavoidable, but left unchecked, it's gonna destroy your health. It's gonna destroy your relationships and your performance. The key is resilience. When stress rises, pause, breathe deep, and ask, what's the best response that I can give right now? That simple pause can literally change everything in your life. So here's your action step for this week. This week, practice naming your emotions as they happen. Instead of saying, I'm stressed, say, I feel anxious because blank, or I feel frustrated because blank. Naming the emotion takes away its power. Then choose one stress management tool. Maybe it's box breathing. Maybe it's a 5-minute walk. Maybe it's writing these things down and using it daily. Emotional intelligence isn't about never feeling stress, anger, or fear. It's about mastering them. The person who can stay calm under pressure, who can connect with others, and can lead with empathy, that's the person who's going to be able to win in every single area of life. This is how you not only handle stress, but you turn it into a strength. All right, welcome to Chapter 7 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about daily routines and rituals. Here's the reality of it. Success isn't built in one day. It's built by what you do every single day. Your routines and rituals are the framework that either set you up for growth or hold you back in mediocrity. Most people rely on motivation, but motivation is unreliable. What you need is structure. Routine and rituals, they take the guesswork out of your day and they give you the consistency that leads to results. Let's break this down into 3 areas: morning routines, evening routines, and daily rituals. First is your morning routines. How you start your day determines how you show up in it. If the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning is you roll over and you scroll on your phone, you're starting your day off reactively. You're letting the world control you and your focus before you even get out of bed. Instead, what we should do is design a morning routine that charges us up. Hydrate with water, move your body, spend time in prayer and meditation, review your goals. Even 20 to 30 minutes of intentional practice in the morning is gonna set the tone for your entire day. Second is your evening routines. The way you close your day is just as important. Most people wind down with TV, junk food, or endless scrolling. But your evening routine should be about recovery and preparation. What we should be doing is disconnecting from screens at least an hour before we go to bed, writing down what we accomplished throughout the day and what's coming for tomorrow. Stretching, breathing, even journaling, all of these things are gonna prime our minds and our body for quality sleep, which is the ultimate performance enhancer. Third is daily rituals. These are small habits that you weave into the flow of your day. Things like gratitude, practice, drinking enough water, taking movement breaks, or even a 5-minute reset in between tasks. Rituals are the anchors that keep you centered no matter how chaotic life gets. They're small, but over time they compound into massive results. So here's your action step for today. This week, create your personal morning and evening routine. Keep it simple. 2 or 3 steps that you can actually follow. Add one daily ritual such as journaling, doing gratitude at lunch, or doing a 10-minute walk after dinner. Stick to it for 7 days and notice how much more grounded, focused, and energized you feel. And remember this, guys, your life is a reflection of your habits. You change your routines and you're gonna change your results. Build rituals that fuel you and success becomes automatic. This is how you create not just a productive day, but a powerful life. All right, welcome to Chapter 8 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about time mastery and productivity systems. Guys, time is the most valuable resource that you have. Money can be lost and made again, opportunities come and go, but time only moves forward, and how you manage it is what's gonna determine the quality of your life. Most people say, I don't have enough time, but the reality of it is this: you don't need more time, you need focus, and you need better systems. So let's break this down into 3 principles. We've got priorities, systems, and execution. First is priorities. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. The key is clarity. What are your top 3 priorities each day, each week, each month? If everything is important, literally nothing's important, right? So time mastery starts with knowing exactly what moves the needle and then cutting the rest. Second is our systems. Productivity isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. That's where systems come in. Time blocking is one system we can do. Batch working is another. Using a calendar instead of a to-do list. Delegating tasks that don't require our focus. Guys, when we build these systems, our success doesn't just rely on willpower, it runs on autopilot. Third is execution. Plans mean nothing without consistent action. That's why you need accountability and you need structure. Using techniques like the 2-minute rule, where if something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Or the 80-20 rule. Focus on the 20% of activities that create 80% of your results. Execution is about momentum. Once you start, it's easier to keep going. Here's the action step for today. This week, design your calendar around time blocks. Block 2 hours a day for deep, focused work. Block time for exercise, for family, and for rest. Treat these blocks as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Then each morning, write down the top 3 priorities that matter the most and finish them before you do anything else that day. And remember this, guys, busy is not the same as productive. Most people are busy all day, but they accomplish really nothing that truly matters. Time mastery is about making sure that your hours align with your goals, your values, and your vision. When you master your time, you don't just get more done, you're gonna be able to build the life that you actually want, and this is how you move from chaos to clarity and from reaction to intentional living. All right, welcome to Chapter 9 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about high performance habits for life balance. Now, when most people hear high performance, they think about hustle, grinding 24/7, or literally sacrificing everything for success. But real high performance is a little bit different than that. It's about creating sustainable habits that allow you to excel in all areas of your life, not just business or fitness, but also relationships, your health, and your happiness. Because if you succeed in one area, but you literally burn out or you neglect the others, guys, that's not mastery, that's imbalance. So let's break this down into 3 key habits. We've got energy habits, focus habits, and connection habits. First is our energy habits. These are the habits that keep your body and mind operating at a very high level. We've got exercise, nutrition, sleep, hydration, and recovery, because without energy, nothing else matters. High performers protect their energy like it's gold because it literally is gold. Second is focus habits. High performers don't just work harder, they work smarter. They know their priorities, they protect their time, and they create environments that eliminate distractions. Focus habits might be daily goal setting, journaling, or blocking off time for deep work. These habits compound over weeks, months, and years into absolutely extraordinary results. Third is connection habits. Success without relationships feel empty. Connection habits are about nurturing your family, your friends, your team, and your community. That could mean scheduling family dinners, practicing gratitude daily, or reaching out to somebody that you appreciate every single week. Relationships are what give life its meaning. So here's your step for today, guys. This week, identify one habit in each category that you're gonna strengthen. Maybe it's drinking a gallon of water a day for energy. Maybe it's starting each morning by writing down your top 3 priorities for focus. Maybe it's calling a loved one every single Sunday, and that's how you strengthen your connections. Pick one from each and commit to it. Balance doesn't happen by accident, it's designed. High performance is not about burning out to get results. It's about creating habits that allow you to win in business and health and in life all at the same time. When you master your habits, you master your life, and this is how you build success that's not only big, but it's also fulfilling. All right, welcome to chapter 10 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about building deep and lasting relationships, because no matter how much money you make, no matter how strong you are, no matter how many achievements that you rack up, life is empty without meaningful relationships. And at the end of the day, success is about connection. It's about the people who celebrate with you, the people who challenge you, and the people who walk beside you through every single season in your life. So let's break this down into 3 keys. We've got presence, trust, and investment. First is presence. The greatest gift that you can give somebody is your attention. When you're with somebody, be with them fully. Put the phone down, look them in the eye, and actually listen. Presence communicates value. It says you matter, and that alone can transform a relationship. Second is trust. Trust is built through consistency. Do what you say you'll do. Keep confidence. Show up when you're needed. Trust takes time to build, but it can also be lost in a moment. So protect it at all costs, because trust is the glue that holds every relationship together. Third is investment. Relationships don't grow by accident. They grow because you invest in them. That means time, effort, and intentionality. Schedule date nights, plan family time, check in with friends, celebrate wins, support and struggles. The more you pour into relationships, the stronger they become. So here's your action step for today, guys. This week, pick 3 people who matter to you most and reach out intentionally. Send a message, set up a call, or make plans to connect. When you nurture your most important relationships, every area of your life feels richer. And remember this, success is not just about what you accomplish, it's about who you become and who you share it with. Build relationships that last, and you'll build a life that's truly worth living. This is how you create connection that outlives achievement. All right, welcome to chapter 11 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today, guys, we're talking about communication and influence skills. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your communication. Every deal you close, if you're in sales, every relationship you build, every opportunity that you create, all of it depends on your ability to be able to communicate clearly and influence effectively. Most people think communication is just about talking, but real communication is about connection, and it's about making sure that your message lands, not just making noise. Let's break this down into 3 key parts. We've got clarity, listening, and influence. First is clarity. Confusion kills communication. If people don't understand you, they can't follow you. We need to be able to keep our words simple, direct, and to the point. Speak with confidence, cut out filler words, and over-explaining. The clearer your message, the stronger your impact. Second is listening. The most powerful communicators are also the best listeners. When you listen, you learn what people actually need, fear, or desire. And that's how you build trust and connection. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Really hear what's being said and even what's not being said. Listening makes people feel valued, and the people who feel valued are more likely to follow your lead. Third is influence. Influence is not about manipulation, it's about alignment. It's helping people to see how their goals connect with your vision. Influence comes from credibility and when people trust you, and from emotion when they feel understood. We need to be able to tell stories, paint pictures, and speak to both the heart and the head. Logic makes people think, but emotion makes them act. So here's your action step for today. This week, practice active listening. In every conversation that you have, repeat back what you heard in your own words. This shows that you're paying attention, and it ensures clarity. Also, take one area of your communication. Maybe it's a sales pitch if you're in sales. Maybe it's a conversation with your team, and simplify it until it's crystal clear. And remember this, guys, communication opens doors, but influence moves people. When you master both, you can build relationships, build teams, and create opportunities that others can only dream of. This is how you stop talking to be heard and start communicating to be able to create real impact. Welcome to chapter 12 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about leadership and team dynamics. Leadership is not about titles. It's not about being the boss or having authority. Leadership is about influence, vision, and responsibility. It's about inspiring others to become more than they thought they could be and moving them towards a shared goal. Great leaders know this. You don't build businesses, you build people, and people build businesses. So let's break this into 3 keys: vision, trust, and dynamics. First is vision. Leaders see the future before anybody else does. They paint a picture so clear that others want to be a part of it. Your vision has to answer 3 questions for your team. Where are we going? Why does it matter? And what's my role in us getting there? Without vision, teams drift. With vision, teams unite. Second is trust. Trust is the foundation of leadership. People don't follow leaders that they don't trust. They follow character, they follow consistency, and they follow care. Be the person who does what they say, who leads by example, and who always puts the team's best interests above personal gain. Trust is earned daily. Third is dynamics. Every team is a mix of personalities, strengths, and weaknesses. Great leaders don't expect everybody to be the same. They align differences into strengths. That means knowing when to push, when to encourage, when to step back, and when to step in. Team dynamics thrive on communication, accountability, and recognition. When people feel seen and valued, they give their best. So here's your action step for today, guys. This week, write down your vision for the team that you're leading, your family that you're leading, or the team that you want to build, or the family that you want to build. Share it with them in simple, powerful words. Then choose one relationship in that team and strengthen the trust. It could be through a conversation, it could be through recognition, or simply showing up consistently. And remember this, leadership is not about being in charge, it's about taking care of the people in your charge. And when you master team dynamics, you don't just get results, you build culture, you build loyalty, and you build legacy. This is how you lead, not just with power, but with purpose. All right, welcome to chapter 13 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about personal finance and wealth building. So here's the truth, guys. Wealth is not just about making money. It's about managing it, multiplying it, and making it work for you. Most people spend their lives trading time for money, but true financial mastery is when your money starts working harder than you do. The problem is most people were never taught the rules of money. They're stuck in debt, they're living paycheck to paycheck, or they're spending everything that they earn every single week. But money follows order, and if you learn the system, you can create financial freedom no matter where you're starting from. So let's break this into 3 steps. We've got foundation, growth, and freedom. First, the foundation. Before you build wealth, you need financial stability. That means tracking your income and tracking your expenses. That means living below your means, and it means building an emergency fund, all right? If you don't control your money's gonna control you. A solid foundation gives you peace of mind and the ability to actually be able to take calculated risks. Second is growth. Once you've stabilized, it's time to grow. That means investing, not just saving. Savings protect you, but investing multiplies your wealth. Learn the basics of stocks, learn real estate, and learn business ownership. Start small, be consistent, and think long term. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world, so use it. Third is freedom. The ultimate goal of wealth isn't more stuff, it's freedom. Freedom to be able to spend your time how you want, when you want, with who you want, to be able to take care of your family, to give generously, and to live life on your own terms. That's why wealth building isn't just about numbers, it's about aligning money with your values and your vision. So here's your action step for today. This week, get clarity on your finances. Write down your income, write down your expenses, write down your debts and your savings. Face the numbers. Then set one simple goal. Maybe it's saving $500. Maybe it's paying down a credit card, or maybe it's setting up your first investment account. Small steps done consistently lead to massive results. So remember this, all right? Wealth is not built overnight, but it is built. And if you're disciplined, if you're patient, and if you're intentional, you can create financial freedom for yourself and for generations after you. This is how you stop surviving and start thriving. All right, welcome to chapter 14 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about entrepreneurship and business strategy. Entrepreneurship is not just about starting a business, it's about solving problems, creating value, and building something bigger than yourself. When you master entrepreneurship, you create freedom, you create impact, and you create legacy. But guys, this is the truth. Most people who start businesses fail, not because they're not talented, but because they don't understand strategy. A business isn't built on ideas alone, it's built on execution, systems, and leadership. So let's break this down into 3 pillars: vision, value, and systems. First is vision. Every successful business starts with a clear vision. Who do you serve? What problem are you solving? And why does it matter? Without vision, you're just guessing. With vision, you're building with purpose. Second is value. Building is an exchange of value. The more value that you create, the more money that you make. The key question every entrepreneur should ask is, how can I serve people at the very highest level? Focus on solving real problems, delivering results, and exceeding expectations. That's how you win customers for life. Third is systems. Businesses don't fail from lack of effort, they fail from lack of systems. Systems create consistency. Marketing systems bring in leads, sales systems close deals, operations systems deliver results, financial systems protect cash flow. When you build systems, your business is going to be able to become scalable, repeatable, and unstoppable. So here's your action step for today. This week, clarify your vision by writing down 3 things: your target customer, the problem you solve, and the unique value that you provide. Then identify one system that you can strengthen. Maybe it's how you're generating leads. Maybe it's how you're closing sales, or maybe it's how you're delivering your product. Strengthen that one system and your business will grow. And remember this, entrepreneurship is not just about luck, it's about strategy, because when you combine vision with value and systems, you're gonna be able to create a business that doesn't just survive, it absolutely dominates. And this is how you move from hustling to scaling and from running a business to building an empire. Welcome to Chapter 15 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about sales, marketing, and persuasion mastery. Guys, no matter what business you're in, you are in the business of sales. Whether you're selling a product, a service, a vision, or even yourself in an interview, sales and persuasion are the skills that are going to be able to drive success in your life. And yet, most people fear sales. They think about pressure or manipulation, but real sales is not about that. It's about service. It's about solving real problems and helping people get what they want. So let's break this down into 3 essentials. We've got marketing, sales, and persuasion. First is marketing. Marketing is how you create attention and interest. It's the story that you tell, it's the message that you spread, and it's the way that you position your value. Great marketing isn't about shouting louder, it's about speaking clear. Know who your audience is, know what they want, and speak directly to their desires and their pain points. Second is sales. Sales is where interest turns into action. It's about asking questions, listening deeply, and guiding people towards a decision. The best closers, they're not pushy. They're problem solvers. They uncover the real need. They present the right solutions, and they make it easy for people to say yes. Third is persuasion. Persuasion is the art of influence. It's not about tricking people. It's about aligning logic and emotion so that the action makes sense. Logic makes people think, but emotion makes people move. So what we need to do, guys, is we need to use stories, analogies, and vision to connect on an emotional level while backing it up with facts and proof. And that's how you create conviction. So this is your action step for today. This week, practice by identifying the core problem that your product or your service solves. Write down 3 clear benefits it delivers, then create a short story of somebody who went from struggle to success because of it. Use that story in your next conversation and you'll see the difference immediately. And remember this, sales is service, marketing is storytelling, and persuasion is influence. When you master all 3, you don't just sell more, you inspire action, you build loyalty, and you create lasting impact. This is how you move from being ignored to being impossible to overlook. All right, welcome to Chapter 16 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about identity, values, and life vision. Guys, the most powerful force in your life is the story that you believe about yourself. Your identity shapes your behavior, your choices, and ultimately your destiny. If your identity is unclear, you'll drift. If your identity is strong, you'll build a life that aligns with who you really are. But identity doesn't stand alone. It's rooted in values. Values are the principles that guide your decisions, and they are the non-negotiables that define what matters most to you. And when your daily actions align with your values, you live with integrity and you live with power. And the final piece is vision. Vision is the picture of the future that you're working toward. Without vision, life feels random. With vision, every step has meaning. So let's break this into 3 key steps: identity, values, and vision. First is identity. Ask yourself, who am I? Not just what do you do, not just the roles you play, but at your core, are you the person who follows through? Are you the person who inspires others? Identity is a choice. You need to be able to decide who you are and then live into that decision daily. Second is values. What do you stand for? What are the principles that guide your decisions when things get hard? Maybe it's faith, maybe it's family, maybe it's growth, maybe it's freedom, maybe it's contribution. Write them down, because when you know your values, decisions become simple, even when they're not easy. Third is vision. Where are you going? What does your ideal life look like in 5 years, in 10 years? What impact do you want to make? Vision is not about predicting the future, it's about designing it. Create a vision that excites you, scares you, and pulls you forward. Here's your action step for today, guys. This week, write down 3 things. Your chosen identity statement, I am blank, your top 5 values, and your vision for the next 5 years. Read them out loud every morning. Let them guide your actions and your decisions. And remember this, clarity creates power. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going, this is how you're going to be able to become unstoppable. This is how you stop living by default, and this is how you start living your life by design. All right, welcome to chapter 17 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about faith, purpose, and spiritual growth. The truth is, you can master your body, you can build wealth, and you can create success, but if you don't know why you're here, life will feel empty. Purpose gives meaning to everything you do. Faith gives you strength when challenges come, and spiritual growth gives you perspective beyond the day-to-day grind. Let's break this down into 3 keys. We've got faith, purpose, and growth. First is faith. Faith is trusting in something bigger than yourself. For some, that's God. For others, it's a higher power, a universal order or destiny. Whatever it is, faith reminds you that you're not alone and that your struggles and victories have meaning. Faith gives you peace in uncertainty and courage in adversity. Second is purpose. Purpose is the reason behind your effort. It's the why that fuels the what. Purpose doesn't always show up in one big moment. Sometimes it's discovered step by step, day by day, year by year. And as you follow your passions, you serve others, and you listen to your heart, you need to ask yourself, what problems am I here to solve? Who am I here to impact? Purpose turns your work into calling. Third is growth. Spiritual growth is a journey, not a destination, and it's about seeking truth, expanding awareness, and deepening your connection with your creator, with your community, and with yourself. That can mean prayer, that can mean meditation, that can mean reading scripture, serving others, or simply just practicing gratitude. Growth happens in the daily disciplines that bring you closer to peace, love, and clarity. So here's your action step for today. This week, create space for spiritual practice. Maybe it's 5 minutes of prayer in the morning. Maybe it's journaling about your purpose, or maybe it's taking a quiet walk without any distractions. What you're gonna do is you're gonna ask yourself daily, what is my purpose here? How can I serve today? And then I want you to write those down, see what comes up, and watch how your clarity grows. And remember this, guys, faith anchors you, purpose drives you, and spiritual growth elevates you. When you build all 3, you live a life of meaning, strength, and fulfillment. Welcome to chapter 18 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about contribution and legacy. We all know success without contribution feels shallow. At some point, the cars, the house, the titles, they stop fulfilling you. What matters most is the impact that you make on others and the legacy that you leave behind. Legacy is not built at the end of your life. It's built every single day through how you live and how you love and how you lead. So let's break this into 3 key parts. We've got contribution, impact, and legacy. First is contribution. Contribution is about giving your time, your energy, your resources, and your talents. It doesn't have to be massive to matter. Sometimes contribution looks like mentoring one person. Sometimes it looks like volunteering for an hour or encouraging somebody who's struggling. Contribution reminds you that life is bigger than just you. Second is impact. Impact is the ripple effect of your contribution. It's how your actions, your words, and your examples influence others. You may never fully see how far your impact goes, but we all need to trust that every single act of service that we do, every moment of leadership, and every choice to lift others up creates a ripple effect that lasts forever. Third is legacy. Legacy is a story that people tell when your name comes up. It's what your kids, your friends, your team, and your community are going to remember about you. Did you make people feel valued? Did you build something that lasts? Did you stand for something greater than yourself? Legacy is not about what you leave for people, but it's about what you leave in people. So here's your action step for today. This week, choose one way to contribute beyond yourself. It could be donating to a cause, mentoring somebody, writing a note of appreciation for somebody, then take a few minutes to write it down with what the legacy is that you want to leave. How do you want to be remembered? And then let that vision guide your decision making starting today. And then remember this, guys, contribution creates fulfillment and legacy creates immortality. The money, the success, the achievements, they all fade, but the lives that you touch, the hearts that you change, and the example that you set will echo long after you're gone. This is how you live, not just for success, but for significance. Welcome to chapter 19 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about content creation and storytelling. Guys, in today's world, attention is currency. The people and brands who know how to capture attention and tell powerful stories are the ones who influence culture, build communities, and create massive opportunities. But content is not just about posting random pictures or random videos. Content is about storytelling. It's about sharing messages that resonate, inspire people, and move people to action. So let's break this into 3 keys, all right? We've got authenticity, story, and consistency. First is authenticity. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with real. So share your journey, not just the highlight reel. Show your wins and your struggles. Be genuine, because authenticity builds trust, and trust is what makes people follow and stay. Second is story. Stories are literally how humans have connected for thousands of years. A good story has 3 parts: struggle, breakthrough, and transformation. Share where you were, what you faced, and how you overcame it. Stories make information memorable and relatable. They turn lessons into experiences that people can feel, not just facts that they hear. Third is consistency. Content will only work if it's consistent. Not just once a month, not just when you feel like it. It's got to be consistent. So create a schedule that you can stick to. Maybe that's daily, maybe it's 3 times a week, maybe it's weekly, but the more that you show up, the more that your audience grows, and the more that your influence compounds. So here's your action step for today. This week, create and share 1 story-driven piece of content. It could be a short video, a written post, or even a conversation on a podcast, but keep it simple. Just share a struggle that you faced, how you overcame it, and what you learned. Then commit to a posting schedule and stick with it. Content creation is not just about chasing likes or views. It's about building connections and trust through storytelling. When you master this, you don't just attract attention, you inspire action. And this is how you turn your message into a movement. Welcome to chapter 20 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge. Today we're talking about social media and personal brand growth. Guys, in today's world, your personal brand is your reputation at scale. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And on social media, that room is literally the entire world. The opportunities that come your way, the partnerships, the clients, the influence, they're all going to depend on how well you've built your personal brand. And social media is the stage where your brand is built. So let's break this into 3 keys. We've got clarity, content, and community. First is clarity. You can't grow a brand if you don't know what it stands for. So get clear on your message, on your values, and on your audience. Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? Who do I serve? What transformation do I help people achieve? Clarity makes your brand memorable. Second is content. Content is the vehicle for your brand. Every post, every video, every story communicates who you are. Share your knowledge, your journey, and your perspective. Use storytelling, education, and inspiration. Don't chase trends. Set them by staying true to who your brand is. Third is community. Your brand is not built on followers. It's built on relationships. So engage with your audience. Reply to comments. Answer messages, and add value. Build a community where people feel seen and connected, because people don't just follow brands, they follow leaders who make them feel a part of something bigger. So here's your action step for today. This week, write a simple brand statement. I help blank do blank so they can blank. Then create 3 pillars of content that align with that statement. Finally, engage with at least 10 people in your community every day for the next week. Comment, message, or encourage them. And remember this, attention is one thing, but influence is another. When you grow your social media with clarity, with content, and with community, you don't just build followers, you build a movement. And this is how you turn your name into a brand and your brand into impact. Welcome to chapter 21 of the Gains Life Mastery Challenge, networking and community building. This is the final course of the journey, and it's a powerful one because, guys, success is never a solo act. Every great achievement in history has been the result of people, relationships, and communities working together. Networking is not about collecting business cards or adding random followers on social media. It's about building real connections that open doors, create opportunities, and multiply impact. Community building is about creating environments where those connections grow, thrive, and last forever. So let's break this into 3 principles. We've got connection, collaboration, and contribution. First is connection. Great networking starts with genuine connection. When you meet somebody, focus on them, not yourself. Ask about their goals, their challenges, and their dreams. Listen more than you talk, because people remember how you make them feel, and genuine connection always stands out. Second is collaboration. True networking is not about what can I get, it's about what can we build together. Look for win-win opportunities, introduce people to each other, and share resources. Support their projects because collaboration creates trust and momentum, and that's what turns contacts into allies. Third is contribution. The strongest communities in the world are built on giving. When you contribute your time, your energy, and your expertise, you build credibility and goodwill. Contribution turns loose networks into tight-knit tribes, and tribes create movements that last far beyond individual efforts. So here's your action step for today. This week, reach out to 3 people that you admire or that you want to reconnect with. Don't ask for anything, just offer value. Share an idea with them, send a resource, or make an introduction. Then think bigger. How can you start building community? It could be a group, a mastermind, or simply hosting regular dinners. It could be anything, but remember this, your network is your net worth, but even more than that, your community is your legacy. Success isn't about how high you climb, it's about how many people you lift up with you. This is how you stop walking alone and start building something that lasts forever.